Alright, welcome neighbors to Miracle Farm 1927 Homestead. And we're up here with our M John Deere, one of our M John Deeres, and trying to get this tractor running today. We run this tractor once a year, and we're, one day of the year, and then it gets to sit out here outside. So it's kind of difficult to do that, so it kind of doesn't get run, like I said. So it's been sitting, and Dad was trying to work on it last night. We robbed ignition parts off of it to go on our G, because they don't make certain stuff for these ignition systems anymore. So we robbed a couple pieces, and then we put them back on, and then we had to the carburetor, I think a couple years ago, the jet in the bottom of the carburetor, we were trying to build the carburetor and it broke off because it was just rusted in there. So we have to borrow the jet out of our other M, because we bought a new jet for this one and it wasn't any good. It leaked like crazy and didn't run right and all that sort of stuff, because buying new stuff is not really worth anything anymore. So we just got to borrow our other jet out of our other M, because they have the same carburetors. So apparently it overfilled, it overflowed for some reason. So something was going on with that. That's what happens when you leave carburetors dry for a year. Stuff leaks and stuff like that. So anyway, hopefully like a gasket expanded, or maybe the float started working or whatever to make it work. So it is now, I don't think it's leaking anymore. We have this it's got a little nurse tank on it, because the big tank is rusted. So we just run it off this nurse tank, because we don't really run that whole tank through it. We'll probably run about half that little tank of gas through it, do what we do with it. Not a lot you can do with this old M. It has these old like roller cultivators, and we just use it for our cane. So it, like I said, it doesn't get used much. We need to use it more, or at least crank it, so we could so it won't be such a big deal. And then we got a tire off of it, because it's on our B, because we got to mow hay once a year. So it's kind of we gotta get one running and then put the tire on it, and then get the other one running, put the tire on it. So anyway, we're gonna see if we can get it to crank up, and then we're gonna go cultivate the cane with it, pull the dirt to it. So we'll be done after we get this cranked, and after we get it cultivated and pulled to, get the dirt pulled to it, we'll be done with the cane for a while. So anyway, we're going to put a battery in this thing and see if we can get it to do anything. Alright, we got a battery in them, and Daddy's about ready to see if it's going to do anything. Well, it turned over good.
I have to turn the switch on.
Oh, yeah, that worked out. Oh, shoot.
not got any water in it yet.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
to put the water in.
We've got to put water in it. Anyway, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. Didn't know if it was going to run or not. Anyway, I knew the carburetor was right. We just, like I said, we just built it. I didn't know about the ignition stuff. But anyway, gotta get some water in it. So go get the tire on it.
Now show them the throttle lever.
Yeah, our throttle lever was it was welded at one point, you can see, and it broke off a couple years ago. Today's gonna make it a rig right there. Got old what kind of clamps would them be?
These are cable clamps.
Cable clamps, yeah. I was gonna say exhaust clamps, but those aren't exhaust clamps. It's kind of difficult to move your throttle with that little lever. And you kind of need throttle when you're cultivating with one of these tractors, because you ain't gonna slow it down with the clutch, because the clutches aren't great on these old tractors, comparatively speaking to a newer tractor. Oh yeah.
I think that'll work pretty good.
That looks nice.
That vice grip I had last year and it kept
Yeah.
falling off.
Yeah. That's a pretty neat rig right there. But yeah, like I said, we had to rob. I think we was working on a tractor. It was before I got my G running, the style G. It was still sitting, and we was working on a A, and we had to borrow some of the ignition parts we built a distributor for an A, because it was having problems. We didn't know if it was spark or what with that tractor. So we put a rebuilt distributor on it, and we needed some parts off of this one. So when we built that distributor, I went ahead and changed the governor on my G so we could run the distributor on it. And so we've been running a distributor on that G, so we've had the parts in that distributor instead of this one. So that's why. Wasn't sure. I think he tried to crank it last night and it wouldn't crank, because we didn't know if it was ignition or the carburetor, something was going on with it. But anyway, this morning it cranked right up. He had a dead battery last night, so we figured that was probably causing this problem. I like his that's a neat little rig right there. But anyway, we're gonna get this tire on, get some air in the tire, get some water in it, and we're gonna be cultivating here pretty soon. Alright, we got some air in the tires and some water in it, so now we're gonna pull them out to the cane patch. See if it'll crank me.
That neat throttle lever on there, ain't that sharp?
Alright, we're back out here at the M. It's later in the day. We got it out this morning, got out here, but had to wait till this evening till we got off of work before we could come cultivate. So, you can see the cane. We've done thinned it and weeded it and hoed it, and we put some fertilizer on it, and Dad's done some cultivating with the Ford. So it's all ready. So what he's going to do now, he's cleaning off the rollers. We got roller cultivators on it, and what that's going to do is it actually pulls the dirt to the plant. So it we call it we just wrap it up. That's what we call it. Laying by. That's what it is. Couldn't think of it there for a minute. So we're going to lay it by is what you call it. But anyway, what that means is we're going to pull the dirt to the cane. So first of all, it covers up a bunch of the weeds that are left, and it supports the plant. So when it gets a little bit taller, it doesn't fall over. Right now it's fine, but later it's going to get a little bit taller, and if we get a storm, it'll blow right over. So we want to get some dirt to it, and that just gives it more material to grow off of, that dirt. And also, like I said, we fertilized it. That's going to pull that fertilizer to the plant. We don't usually fertilize our cane, but we've put cane on this 3 years in a row, and you can't use. We always put cow manure on it or old hay or something, but now everybody's spraying this mess on it. Kills all your broadleaf plants. And you can't put that on cane. It'll kill it. It doesn't go away after it goes through the cow even. So but people think that's good for their cows and their horses. So we have to deal with it with no fertilizer. So we had to fertilize a little bit this year, but oh well. Anyway, we're gonna wrap him up, and that should be it until I guess we'll start stripping it and everything. But we'll see if we can get this OEM fired up. Cranked good this morning. I can't believe how well it cranked. She fired right up. We got a spectator out there. Papa. He comes over whenever we're doing something out here in the field. Daddy's filling up our little tank. I guess the big tank rusted out, or is it just dirty?
It's just dirty.
We need to get it fixed. It's kind of like I said, we just run this tractor once a year. Be nice to get the big tank going or fixed so we could keep it, running off the big tank. But like I said, it's kind of on the bottom of the list of things we gotta do. Cranked right up. So you can see here where he's done cultivated or pulled it to it. Still trying to get his adjustments right. Little M talks. Them stand-up motors kind of got a keen sound to them. They run more like a 4-cylinder. trying to get his stuff right. Professional cultivating right there.
You want to do it again?
No, I guess that's about it. We're in the filming car. I got a stunt driver.
He must be a good driver going that fast.
Well, there's old Am cultivating the cane. Let's see y'all later.
Make all the demons quiet, yeah, we were built to thrive, yeah.